3, 4, get my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine. 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look into the sky with all the beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout. Take a look and see a beautiful morning that turns into a beautiful evening, and together make a beautiful life. And if you wanna see, then come along with me, that's right. And if you wanna...
Hey, it's Irish Dave and welcome to Experience Michiana. I'm out and about experiencing a nice cup of coffee on this fine winter day, and we have a great show lined up for you this week. We want you to ring in Christmas with the Prairie Bells Bell Choir. We're also going to check out the Elkhart Civic Theatre, their production of It's a Wonderful Life. Is it bad to admit that I've never seen the movie? Maybe I should go see it though at the Elkhart Civic Theatre. But first, Kelly was out and about at one of my favourite holiday attractions, the Wellfield Winter Wonderland Holiday Lights.
The holiday season can get so busy, but one of the things that you and your family don't want to miss is the Wellfield Winter Wonderland Holiday Lights. And this is not just any lights, it's like 1.2 million lights. Is that true, Nina?
That is true. We started 5 years ago with 200,000 lights, and we've grown about 200,000 lights every year. And we're now in our 6th year, and we're up to over 1.2 million lights.
So 6 years, what made you all decide here at Wellfield to do something like this? Because it's probably quite a huge undertaking.
It is a huge undertaking. They actually start to come and put the lights on the trees the day after Labor Day, believe it or
Really?
not. Yep, and we always go right up to that first night when we're plugging them all in, and they're still putting some up on the trees. So it takes 2.5 months, really, to get everything up.
Wow,
on the
now I'm
trees.
sure the first year you did it, you probably got a huge response from the community.
We did. We had a holiday event where we partnered with Toys for Tots and a local, it was called Michiana Pay It Forward, a local not-for-profit, where they did things like they had stations where you could write letters to soldiers and things like that. And we got a pretty good turnout for that, and it was great to partner with other nonprofits in the community. But then, and we did some lights a little bit, and then we thought, well, this could be really fun. And our horticulture manager, Josh, who I know you've talked to a million times, it was really his baby that he brought this project forth, and he had a plan for us. And so we've sort of carried that through and just made it grow a little bit every year.
I know now it's a 1.2 million lights. Who does the lights?
We work with a group out of Valpo called Landscape Illuminations, and they come in, they install all the lights, and then they take them down and they store them for us. Because as you can imagine, 1.2 million lights, we don't have the space to store those. So yeah, so they do that for us.
And one of the things that, because I came last year, and I have to tell you, it was absolutely beautiful. It really was kind of this sense of walking through a winter wonderland. But there's all these different areas that you have, and really everything kind of embraces the beautiful nature that's here.
That's what we try to do. And we try, of course, we are the city's working well field. So water is always present, and the lights we get so many comments from people saying that the lights look so beautiful reflecting off the water. And so you're never far from water here at Wellfield, and we kind of feel like the holiday lights just sort of amplifies that.
Now you have the lights, you also have music playing.
We do. We have a DJ. So our event plaza is sort of like the nerve center of holiday lights, and we have a DJ out there. We have the TCU concessions tent where Navarre Catering serves hot and cold drinks and some treats, so you can get a drink, and an adult drink or a kid drink, and walk around and stay warm while you're looking at the lights.
And I know when I came in today, you said we don't have hot chocolate today for me. Can I tell you that hot chocolate last year? I mean, it is so good.
So good. Yeah. We had a little boy a couple weeks ago that had 4. He had 4.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And that's one of the things I saw when I came, like I said, last year, all the young kids, the little kids running around, and really you just really see how families just enjoy this so much.
Yeah, this has become a family tradition for a lot of people in Elkhart County, for sure.
Now we're standing here and I see a lot of the giving trees here. Tell us a little bit about that.
So this is a program we started probably 2 or 3 years ago, and each night of the lights we partner with a local not-for-profit, and they come and they decorate these trees with sort of their mission. Each one has their own theme, and then the night that is their Giving Tree night, they provide us with some volunteers that actually help us pull off the event too. It's invaluable, the support that we get from them. And then in exchange for that, we do give them a portion of our ticket sales. So it helps fit our mission. Part of our mission is growing community, and that helps us further our mission, but it also helps bring attention to these not-for-profits, which then helps further their mission.
Now the Winter Wonderland, it already started. You started, was it the Friday after Thanksgiving?
Yes, yes. We've had 6 nights. We did have to cancel one night because we had a ton of rain. And so after today, we go 8 days straight with the lights. We open at 5:30, we close at 8:30. So we'll run until December 23rd. And then we close. We don't have it, unfortunately, on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. We give our staff and volunteers a rest then.
So once Christmas Day is over, is that the end of the lights?
it.
Oh, so you have to make sure not to miss it then.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, now you mentioned that the last one is 8:30. That's 8:30 in the park? Or
So we actually close our admission gate at 8:09. And then we start turning the lights off. You really have until about 9 o'clock to get through here. So even if you get here right at 8:09, you've still got plenty of time to enjoy the lights.
You always add different and new attractions every year. What's new this year?
So this year, our horticulture manager, Amy Myers, came up with the idea to light our quilt garden.
Oh.
And that's a partnership that we have with Elkhart County Convention and Visitors Bureau and the Heritage Trail. And they have the quilt gardens all summer. And Amy thought it would be a great idea to use the pattern that we had this summer, which was called Fresh Connections, because this is the year of connections at Wellfield. And we actually did the pattern that we had for the quilt garden in lights. So when people are waiting in line at admissions, they can take pictures in front of the quilt garden and just enjoy that pattern. And it really brightens up our admission line too.
That's really nice. Now, like I said before, I came last year. I'm going to have to come again just to see that as
Yes,
well.
you are.
Now, I'm sure, as we mentioned, it's quite an undertaking, and I know staff has to be here the entire time. What makes you all really, every year, say, we have to do this again for our community?
We love it. We love it. Everyone is so happy to be here. So it's a passion project for all of us. I mean, obviously, we're away from our families and spending the weekend nights here, but we just love that this is here for the community.
Absolutely. Now, there's a book this year?
There is. This is a project that we started almost 2 years ago. We partnered with a local author named Roger Carlson, and he has a children's publishing company with his daughter, Mariana. And he came to us and said, I would love to do a book about the holiday lights. And so we have brought it forth and we started selling it for the lights. And this year, and Roger is here on select nights to sign the books.
Nice.
And so it just sort of brings the spirit of lights home with you. And we've had people that have bought multiple copies to send to family that have been here for the lights but can't get here this year, or they just want to take it home with them. Yeah, we've had a really good response to it.
Nina, this book is also a story walk book?
Yeah, we have our story walk. We have 17 boards that go all throughout the gardens. So if you're here during the day and you're taking a walk on a nice winter day, you can see the story walk book while you're walking. Each page is at a different part of the gardens. And so you can kind of read the book while you're walking. And then we've got the book for sale in our gift shop.
That's wonderful. Now, how can people get tickets for this event? Because you really do have to have a ticket. You can't. Can you just show up at the?
You can show up.
Oh, you
We
can.
have tickets at the gate. Yeah. This year we have no capacity restrictions. We don't do time ticketing. You can show up at the gate and we'll sell you a ticket right then. You can get it in advance on our website or at our visitors cottage when we're open during the day, 12 to 5. So, but you can come any night. You can come any night. You can buy a ticket online today and come any of our remaining 8 nights.
Okay, and lastly, dress
Dress
board.
for the weather. It is completely outside, and our path is about 2/3 of a mile to walk the whole thing. We do sort of funnel people through. We had to do that during COVID, and we got a really good response from it. So we just sort of funnel people in a one-way path all the way through.
Okay, all right. Well, Nina, thank you so much. It was
Thanks,
great
Kelly.
being here, and thank you so much again for bringing such a wonderful holiday light show to the community here.
Good. We hope everybody enjoys it, and Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Thanks. Same to you.
Well, it has been a wonderful year in Michiana, and this weekend it is a wonderful life at the Elkhart Civic Theater. And I have with us Dave. Dave, it is so great to have you once again. This is an exciting show for you.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Yeah, we are getting ready for our Christmas production, which we've been doing radio plays at Christmas time for the last several years. Whether we continue that or not is kind of anybody's guess, but it's been kind of an interesting it's been an interesting departure from standard, memorized shows to do something like this, which is in the style of a 1940s radio show in a studio, in a radio studio. And so that's how it's presented. And of course, everybody knows the story, or most people know the story of It's a
Sure.
Although it's funny. The lead character in this production is George Bailey, and the lead actor Adam Gilbert, who does a wonderful job, had never seen the movie and was unfamiliar with it. So it's one of those things that is not, you assume everybody kind of knows it, but not everybody really does. But of course, it's a great story, and it's kind of an inverted version of A Christmas Carol in some respects. Has a lot of similarities to that show, or to that story. But yeah, it's a traditional Christmas kind of story, and very life affirming, and really a wonderful message, I think.
Absolutely. And I have acted in It's a Wonderful Life many years ago at the South Bend Civic. And it really is, kind of a testament. It's one of, I think it's actually the most popular Christmas movie of all times. It really kind of is a staple. So talk to us more about that, why you chose It's a Wonderful Life for this year's Christmas play.
Well, we have been trying to do, of course, because of the season, and we had for a long time we did what was essentially kind of a Christmas concert kind of production, and with so many schools and so many other organizations doing Christmas music events, we found that there were plenty of those. Let's put it that way. And so we kind of started looking for something different. We did have a year where we did not even do a Christmas production at all, but then we felt that we really should. I mean, the Bristol Opera House is kind of it's an old time theater, and it seemed appropriate to do something for Christmas here. So we started doing the radio plays. The first one we did was It's a Wonderful Life. That was 4 years ago. Then we also produced there are not a lot of Christmas radio plays available, so we keep looking, and then we've also talked maybe about developing our own at some point. But we did It's a Wonderful Life, then we did A Christmas Carol the following year. We had a year then, which was the big year of COVID. We did nothing. And then we came back with Miracle on 34th Street. And now this year, 4 years later, we're bringing back It's a Wonderful Life.
Which is it's a wonderful performance. For those people who haven't seen a radio styled play, I haven't seen one myself. So trying to envision what it looks like. Tell us a little bit more so we can kind of visualize what that means.
Well, I will sort of show you the set a little bit here. For starters, there is sort of the exterior window with the call letters there, and moving around, I'm playing with my laptop here. There's the front door. Some of the people come in that way, and I will turn it around the other way, and over there towards the audience, you can see one of the microphones, but you can also see the sound effects table there. What happens is, and I'll even move it even further, you can see this is kind of what it looks like from the stage. And the play happens with we have about 13 people in the show, and most of them, except for a few of the leads, play multiple characters. So they will step up to the microphones. They are reading their scripts, and which is in the style of old time radio, because that's what they did in the 40s and 30s and 40s. And so there's a lot of actually activity going on stage. It sounds like it might be kind of slow, but it's not. People are kind of hurrying up to the microphones and then stepping back, and other people are coming up. And then we also have, if you look through here, you can see there's places where people sit. Over here are actors. The actors, it's sort of a play within a play. The actors actually have a place to go over and get a cup of coffee while they're waiting, and they can, they might be checking the newspaper kind of in the background, and there's other things going on a little bit, but I hope that are part of kind of the atmosphere of an old radio studio. You can't see it from this angle, but we have an on the air sign that the audience can see, and an applause sign as well.
When can people come see the performance?
The show runs for 3 performances, December 16th, 17th, and 18th. The 16th and 17th are evening performances at 7:30 here at the Bristol Opera House, and then the Sunday is a 3 o'clock matinee, and so and the show is probably an hour and a half, maybe a little longer total with intermission. So it's a nice afternoon or a nice evening, and you still get out early enough to go and have dinner maybe, or something like that. So it's not a long show.
And where can people buy their tickets at?
They can buy their tickets by calling us in the afternoons, weekday afternoons, at 574-848-4116, or they can go to elkhartcivictheater.org and buy them online anytime.
And I love that this is a great way to kind of kick into the holiday season. It really helps brighten your spirits too, especially specifically with It's a Wonderful Life. I think everybody really should watch it as you're heading into the holiday season. But you have a lot of other stuff coming up as we head into 2023 too. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Right. Yeah, we have right now our youth, which is our 8 to 18-year-olds, are rehearsing Harriet the Spy, which comes up in January. And then in February, early March, we have an Agatha Christie murder mystery, which is called Murder on the Orient Express. And that is sort of a comedy version of it. It's an adaptation by the master of farce, Ken Ludwig. So it will be a lot of fun, and the set will be an extremely interesting, always changing set, and so it's a fun show. Following that, we're doing a musical, which is A Year with Frog and Toad, which has a great family message about friendship and life lessons as well. And then after that, we are doing Steel Magnolias, which is kind of a classic now. It's basically an all-female show, and it takes place in a beauty parlor, and it's a comedy, but it's got a great heart to it, and also a great message. Our summer show right now is a little bit in limbo. We are kind of determining what that's going to be, but we will be announcing that pretty soon.
Well, I am excited for all that you have coming up, and for It's a Wonderful Life. And what I love about it is just one weekend here coming up. So you want to make sure that you don't miss out on this.
Right.
Get your tickets for It's a Wonderful Life coming up this weekend at the Bristol Opera House in Bristol, Indiana.
Yep. And we're a 125-year-old theater, and then we're a fun place to see a show.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Dave, for sharing with us today.
Thank you.
There's nothing like the sound of bells to ring in Christmas, which is a concert that's going to be taking place here at Sumpton Prairie United Methodist Church. And Becky, you are the founder of the bells here. And tell me, because a lot of times you don't really hear about these type of instruments. So how did you get this bell choir started?
So the Prairie Bells is the name of our group, the Prairie Bells Community Handbell Choir. We got started in March, was our first rehearsals. And basically what I did was I just put information out there through various sources and invited people who know how to read music to come and join us. And we have people who have rung handbells before. So it's been just a great compilation of right now we're at 12 people in our choir, and we have quite an age range too, I might point out. We have 20-somethings to 90-somethings, so we've got a good span of the population, in a way, an age population you might say.
Does someone have to be a musician or know how to read music to be a part of the Prairie Bells?
For the Prairie Bells, we do ask that they have some knowledge about how to read music. If they're willing to learn how to ring bells, then we're more than happy to teach them how to do that. Usually within the first 3 or 4 rehearsals, they start to get comfortable with the motions and everything that it takes in order to ring the handbells.
Now, where did you get your training?
In the early 90s. I was in junior high, and the church I attended at that time had a bell choir, and I was like, you know what, that looks kind of interesting. It was an adult choir, but they allowed youth to join, and that was where I got my initial training. And even though I didn't major in music in college, I was still involved in church choirs throughout my college years, and off and on throughout my adult years. And it's just a wonderful hobby if you're interested in music, and in our case, sharing music with others. That's part of what the Prairie Bells is focused on, is being able just to share our music with others.
Right, and music is such an important part of life. What makes the bells so unique?
Really, there isn't an instrument like these. I like to share a little bit of the history of handbells. They came about, these are called English handbells because they're from England, is where they started. And in the, I believe it was the 17th century, was when not chimes, but bell towers across the county or countryside in England would be practicing what they call change ringing, and it's basically like a pattern of bells ringing at different points. Well, if you can imagine, maybe they would practice 2 or 3 times during the week, and the neighbors started to get maybe a little tired of hearing all those bells ringing all the time.
I wouldn't, but
yeah. But then somebody came up with the idea. They said, hey, why don't we make some smaller bells? We can stand inside and practice, and not have to ring the tower bells all the time. So that's really how handbells got started, and they've been around ever since.
Oh my goodness. Now you have a concert coming up. It's Sunday, December 18th, and there's something very special that you're doing with this concert that really gives back to the community.
So one of our focuses for the Prairie Bells is to hold concerts that will help to raise funds for charities, organizations in our community. So on December 18th, we're going to hold a concert at 4 o'clock at Sumption Prairie. And the focus for that concert is Hope Ministries in South Bend. And we're going to make, instead of having an admission fee, we're going to take a collection, a free will offering during the concert. And we just encourage folks that attend, if you have $1 to spare or more, it's all going to go to a great cause. We'll have a representative here from Hope Ministries who's going to share a little bit about what they do, how they help people in our community.
That's wonderful. Can you tell us a little bit about the music?
Oh yes, it's all Christmas, so it's going to be all familiar. I'm sure everyone's going to recognize it. We've got a little bit of secular, a little bit of sacred, so you'll hear, I'm sure, some favorites. And there's a couple that you may not have heard, but they're still beautiful pieces that I'm sure everyone's going to enjoy.
Right. Now, is it difficult to play the bells? Because some people would say, all you're doing is ringing the bell, but there really is a technique to it, isn't there?
There is. It's not like we stand at the red kettles and we see volunteers that are ringing, those bells. But for handbells, I like to describe it as a football shape with your arm and your hand motions.
Okay,
so,
now I see the gloves. Do you have to wear gloves to play the bells?
I like to, just because for me it helps to provide a little extra grip. These particular gloves do have kind of a little dots on them that are help with grip, so that's one reason. And then there are techniques where your hands are touching the bells, and so that helps to protect the metal that the bell is made of.
And it makes it look pretty.
It does. It does.
I think so.
A little more professional, perhaps.
Yes.
So when holding a bell, it's just as if you're going to shake someone's hand, and you just wrap your hand around the bell. Your thumb is right on top.
Can I pick one up
if
as
you'd
well?
like to pick one up,
right.
Yep.
Ooh, it's heavier than I thought.
So these are a little bit heavier, these are a little bit lighter. The size kind of gives you the idea of how much, and there are some smaller bells than this and a lot larger bells than those.
Now, are there different types of bells, and what are the bells made of?
So there are 8 notes, and we have them in order here, going from C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then I have another C in my hand. And so that just continues. As they get higher, it's the same names of the notes, but it's just either a smaller bell, and then going the other way as it gets lower, again, still the same name of the notes, but the bells just start getting bigger. So some notes, are really low, just like with any other musical instrument with singing, and also notes are really high. We have that with bells.
Now I see they're all major notes. Do they have minor notes as well?
Yes, yeah, there's sharps and flats. I just didn't pull them out of the case today.
Okay, I was just curious. I don't know anything, Becky.
No, that's
I don't
okay.
know anything about this.
This particular set of bells I'll mention, you'll notice they all have black handles, and so do the sharps and flats as well. There's another type, brand of handbells that are actually white handles for these and black handles for the sharps and flats. So anyone that's played piano is familiar with the white keys and the black keys. So for me, I prefer that set, but these are good too.
These are good. Now, how do you play this?
So holding the bell with, again, my thumb wrapped around, I always start resting just next to my shoulder.
Okay.
Yep. And then the motion, as I mentioned, is kind of a football shape. So I'm going to make the bottom of the football and then the top of the football. And when I get out here is where I make just a little movement with my wrist so the bell will ring. So down and up.
Okay, let me try that again, Becky.
So
you don't want
down.
me in your choir, do you?
You're learning. There you go. That's it. Yep. Ooh. And then you can, we call it dampening when you put it back onto your shoulder. That helps to cut the sound off. So if you want to try that again. That's it. Yeah.
It's so pretty.
So we're going to play the beginning of Carol of the Bells.
I love that piece. And what note am I going to be playing? The dong or the ding?
I call it the ding.
The ding. I'm playing the ding. I got it. Playing the ding, Kelly. Don't mess up. Okay.
All right. You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. You got it?
Oh my gosh, they sound beautiful.
Yes.
Maybe there might be room for me in the choir this next year, maybe.
Yeah, you can join us in the spring. We'll start back up in March.
Well, thank you so much. This is really something beautiful. And one of the things that you don't go into every church and have this. So I think this is a wonderful thing that you're bringing to the community and making it open for people to join as well.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And again, the concert is Sundays, December 18th at 4 p.m.
Yep.
All right, so come on and hear those bells. Becky, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
So if you've watched the show Last Christmas, you will know that Courtney on our team is, well, she's kind of lost it when it comes to the number of Christmas trees that she has in our house. Well, next week on the show, we're all going to sit down in our house amongst, I think, 70-something trees or whatever she has, and you're going to get to know us a little bit better. So if you have any questions, the one I always get is, how did you end up in America? That's the one I always get. But if you have any questions for myself or Kelly or Courtney, like Courtney, where did your Christmas tree obsession start? Then make sure and go to Facebook, search for Experience Michiana, send us a message on there, and then make sure and tune in to next week's show.
Experience Michiana is made possible in part by the Community Foundation of St. Joseph County and the Indiana Arts Commission, which receives support from the state of Indiana and the National Endowment for the Arts.
This WNIT local production has been made possible in part by viewers like you. Thank you.